How's the traffic where you are? Seth Doane has sent us a memorable postcard from Venice.
In a city best navigated by water, the gondola offers an unparalleled view. This unlikely craft, as long as 2 stretch limousines, is powered by man and glides through these winding canals just as it has since the 14th century.
If you're in Venice, you have to be on a gondola.
Along the Grand Canal, which flows through the heart of Venice, we met the Budzinski family, who needed 3 gondolas to hold all 12 of them. They traveled 4,500 miles from Michigan to Italy, but it was this 40-minute ride that completed the journey for Karen Budzinski.
Venice is for lovers, and when you get on the gondola ride and you're looking into your lover's eyes and the music is playing and you're seeing this city that it's just unbelievable, you just get lost in it.
It seems they all did.
You're supposed to kiss under the bridge for
Not
good luck.
every bridge, but they decided
we kissed every bridge.
More than 400 bridges connect the alleyways of Venice, but before they were built, gondolas were the main way of getting around. Today they cater to tourists, like Budzinski's son-in-law, Gabe Balhorn.
The way that these guys maneuver these boats around these canals, this shiny, perfect vessel going through these crowded streets, and they're masters at it.
Aoi! 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 Stai! Yeah!
Are these signals you're shouting?
I shout when I take the corner. This is our horn.
That's your horn?
My horn.
Pierluigi Pila has been putting on these signature stripes for more than 30 years. He knows the narrow channels like the back streets of a familiar neighborhood.
I born in Venice, I live in Venice. For me, it's normal. It's like you take your cars, you take away. For me, I take the gondola.
As a native, he's proud to be part of this distinctly Venetian tradition. Where thousands of gondolas used to crisscross these sparkling waters, today there are just over 400 licensed gondoliers.
Why did you want to become a gondolier?
Well, all my family was gondoliers. My family is a 4th generation.
At more than $110 per ride, it's a good business to be in. The fee is set by the city government, and Pila says that despite the Budzinski's experience and what you see in the movies, it does not usually include a serenade.
Do you sing when you're...
If I can sing, I don't make a gondolier. So I make a singer.
You don't sing?
No.
Why do so many gondoliers sing?
No, the gondolier is no singer. If you see the gondolier singers, maybe it's because he's drunk.
So beware of singing gondoliers.
He stands to one side of the gondola, but this asymmetrical curved boat doesn't tip. That's because its hull is constructed so that the gondolier balances the boat, and as he rows, it pushes forward and not to one side. Gondolas are actually tailored to fit the gondolier, and Pierluigi Pila says his fits him like a shoe. After all, it was crafted by Tramontine.
Tramontine is the best one.
No comparison.
No.
We set out to find this famed Tramontine boatyard and traveled down back canals deep inside Venice, escaping tourists and seemingly time itself. Here, Roberto Tramontine has worked for the last 30 years, just like 4 generations before him.
When
people stop and see my boatyard, he tells us, they say this is the Ferrari of the gondolas. Most of Tramontine's work is entirely done by hand, including applying layers of the famous black paint. On average, he'll spend 2 months building just one gondola, craftsmanship that allows him to charge at least $50,000.
What makes your gondolas so good, so different? What makes them stand out?
Il segreto per me è tutto nel cantiere, che serve questa forma.
The secret is in the boatyard, he says, and in the knowledge of how to do these things. I was taught by my father, whose father was taught by my great-grandfather. Tramontine's gondolas are made from woods like oak, walnut, mahogany, and cherry, which can be more elastic.
E questo è un pezzo unico, curvato, viene cucinato come gli spaghetti.
So he says they boil it like spaghetti. Everything in Italy is about food, and they can bend this wood quite easily.
The ferro, which means iron in Italian, is fastened to the bow. Its 6 metal teeth are said to symbolize the 6 districts of Venice, divided by the Grand Canal, and topped by the hat of the one-time supreme leader called a doge. For Tramontine, every detail is to be appreciated.
A me piace la cosa semplice, la gondola così semplice, nera, senza troppo
My gondola
oro,
is like a beautiful woman, he says. I like a gondola very simple, just how I like a woman, in a long black Armani dress with a slit up the side. The gondola's long, slender beauty has captivated artists' imaginations for centuries. From Italian painter Canaletto to the American John Singer Sargent, who painted these masterpieces from a gondola. But history is alive and celebrated in the city, where a new generation still learns how to make this ancient craft.
Perfetto.
That's important because it's said here that when an artist dies, his knowledge dies with him. The Budzinski family tried to take in as much as they could, but even the pigeons in Piazza San Marco, or the parasols they bought, could not compare with the experience in a gondola.
It does give you just a feel of authenticity. It makes you feel like you've really taken part in the ways of the city. So,
And splurge for the singer and the accordion
go
player.
for the music. It's once in a lifetime. Just go for the music.
It completes the dream of, coming here.
A dream, indeed.